The Dream of the Red Chamber is one of the four great masterpieces of ancient China, a long novel in chapter and verse form, written in 1784, the 49th year of the Qianlong reign of the Qing Dynasty, and formally titled Dream of the Red Chamber in the preface by the Master of the Dream. The first 80 books were written by Cao Xueqin, the last 40 books were continued by Gao Oi, and collated by Cheng, Weiyuan and Gao Oi. This book is a great work with high ideology and high artistry. The book is a great work with high ideology and high artistry, which is an encyclopedia of Cao Xueqin's life work. It is permeated with the profound and soul-crushing feelings of song lyrics. It is also often enveloped in the dreamy lightness of the yang flowers, the sorrowfulness of the fine silk rain, and the heartfelt scenes of the Yuan vernacular. It is regarded as the pinnacle of Chinese classical fiction. The novel depicts the rise and fall of a large family and the complex relationships among its members, reflecting the various problems of society at the time. Cao Xueqin is the son of a fifth-ranking official in the early Qing Dynasty, the son of a Jianying weaver, who was born into the first noble family in Nanjing. However, an imperial edict from the Yongzheng emperor completely changed everything. In order to maintain his luxurious life, Cao Xueqin's father had embezzled a lot of public money. The emperor was furious when the incident came to light and decided that Cao's family should be raided and his property confiscated. In this way, Cao Xueqin's life fell from heaven into a chicken coop in an instant. It was because of this change in his family's fortunes that Cao Xueqin was able to write his magnum opus, Dream of the Red Chamber. The story of Dream of the Red Chamber is set in the Qing Dynasty. The entire book is written by the four families of Jie, Shi, Wang, and Shui from the heyday to the decline of the story. It describes a wealthy young master named Jie Beiyu and a group of characters around him, including his two cousins Lin Daiyu and Shui Baoban, and focuses on the love story between the Jie family and his cousin Lin Daiyu, as well as the Shui family and Shui Baoban. The novel takes Jie Beiyu as the main line, delicately depicting the rise and fall of the Jie family, as well as the customs, character, and values of the noble family. At the same time, the novel also covers many issues of the society at that time, such as official corruption, social conflicts, etc., has a high artistic and historical value. The novel tells the story of the Jie family's Daguan Yuan. The Jie family was a large family in the capital at the time, and there were many characters in the family, including Baoyu, Daiyu, Qingwen, and Sunren, among others. The novel depicts the life, emotions, and family relationships of these characters to show the various problems of Chinese society at the time, such as the wealth gap, oppression and exploitation, marriage customs, and so on. The theme of Dream of the Red Chamber is the degradation of human beings. Through the love story between Bao Dai, the novel reveals the weakness of human nature and people's greed for fame and fortune. Many characters in the novel have their own flaws and weaknesses, such as Baoyu's sentimentalism and cowardice, Daiyu's neuroticism and low self-esteem, etc. These flaws and weaknesses ultimately lead to the flawed and weak characters. These flaws and weaknesses eventually lead to their downfall and tragedy. The literary value of Dream of the Red Chamber is also very high. Cao Xueqin's use of rhetorical devices and poetry and song in the novel makes it a richly literate and literary work. The most famous of these is the Lanting preface, which is written in regular script and contains a variety of artistic forms, including calligraphy, poetry, music, and painting, and is a marvel in the history of Chinese literature. In addition, Dream of the Red Chamber has had a profound impact on Chinese culture and tradition. Many of the poems, idioms, and slang in the novel have become treasures of Chinese culture and are celebrated and used by people. For example, the golden jade is outside, but the flotsam and jade is inside. Wind, flower, snow and moon, peony pavilion, etc., have become an integral part of Chinese culture. The Dream of the Red Chamber itself has an important thread running through the whole text, and that is the stone that has no cause to mend the sky. It is only after experiencing all the glory, humiliation, and prosperity in the world, and understanding the true meaning of life, that one can return to one's roots and become a true jade. By depicting the Jie mansion from prosperity to decline, and all the people and events in the Daguan Yuan Cao's work finally tells the world with an attitude of seeing through life. Life is like a dream, the wind and dust of the red mansion, the glamour is scattered, and the eyes are closed when the time comes, the impermanence and helplessness. People laugh at me for burying flowers today, but who will bury them next year? The flowers fall and the people die. This sad poem whispered by Daiyo has been sung by sentimental lonely people to this day. When falsehood is true, it is also false. Where there is nothing, there is still nothing. Life is like a dream, the red house is dusty, the glamour is scattered, the eyes are closed when the gathering is over. The couplet in Dream of the Red Chamber, when falsehood is true, it is also false, where there is nothing, there is still nothing, is found at the entrance to the fantasy land of Taixuo. In The Illusion of Taixuo, Cao Xueqin predicted the whole book and the fate of all the important characters through lyrics, poems, and paintings, inscriptions, etc. Then, in such an important place at the entrance, he wrote these two lines: is exactly what he experienced. Fat is thick, powder is fragrant of the flashy life, so that later, after the family tragedy, he raised his family to eat porridge, read for 10 years, add and delete 5 times to write the book's description and sentiment. It can be said that every word is a gem. Through Zhi Beiyu's experience, the author presents the colors of the 5 turbid worlds to the reader, ultimately proving that truth is falsehood, and existence is nothing, and that the 5 elements are false, but Zen is vacuum. The ultimate proof is that truth is falsehood and existence is nothing. What we seek in life is in fact nothing. To think that gain is actually loss, but to lose is also a kind of gain. Life is always torn between gain and loss, and there is inevitably too much helplessness, so why bother? The once prosperous fall, when everything is settled, is all things are empty. Dream of the Red Chamber is not only written about the family and the world, but also about human feelings and warmth. The Dream of the Red Chamber is not only about the family and the world, but also about the human feelings and warmth. It is not only about the dream and the spirit, but also about the real life. As a book that no one has ever written before and no one has ever come after, it is the pearl of words. Dream of the Red Chamber is not only a bright pearl of Chinese literature, but also a splendid treasure of world literature. It not only presents a majestic supergiant scroll, but also is a huge precious treasure left by Cao Xueqin to the cultural history of China. It will continue to attract more readers and more experts in red science with its endless charm. Finally, it is worth mentioning that Dream of the Red Chamber is also an unfinished work in the history of Chinese literature. Cao Xueqin was unable to complete the novel for various reasons during the writing process, and the ending of the novel was left in suspense. This has provided more room for imagination and reflection for future generations, and has become a major miracle in the history of Chinese literature. Since its publication, Dream of the Red Chamber has received high praise from readers and critics alike. Whether in terms of literary style, characterization, plot arrangement, or ideological connotation, it has been hailed as the pinnacle of classical Chinese fiction. Many later writers have been inspired and influenced by Dream of the Red Chamber, such as Liu Sun and Hu Shi. In addition, the book has been adapted into various art forms such as movies, television dramas, and plays, and has been well received by audiences. Dream of the Red Chamber is a classic work of classical Chinese literature and is regarded as the pinnacle of Chinese fiction. It is not only a literary work, but also a treasure of Chinese culture, society, and history. If you have not read this novel, I strongly recommend you to read it. I believe it will bring you unexpected harvest.